Let's continue with the movie Mohammed, and we see in this slide Mohammed, the womanizer.
My husband just left with the caravan.
Yes. Go and wait for me in your tent. I'm coming.
Isn't it shameful for a woman to expose herself to a man she does not know?
Have you not heard what God has said in the Qur'an?
The master may desire whom he wants, and shall be given whom he wants.
God is true in all that he says in the book.
Also, if a married woman offers herself to the master, and he wishes to have her, he is allowed, even if the rest of the believers are not allowed.
Everything Allah says in the Quran is true. How pleasurable is our Islamic ways.
What we see in this movie make Muslim upset. Why? Here is a woman, offer herself to the apostle of Allah. My husband went with a caravan. I am free. Okay, go to the tent. I'll see you in a little bit. How dare you insult the Prophet of Islam and make him a womanizer sleeping with a woman whom her husband went to business? Maybe we need to read the Quran. Seriously, not even the hadith, the Quran itself, to find out, is that true? If Muslim investigates this allegation and they found it to be true, maybe it's time for them to get rid of this wicked cult, the cult of Islam, because their prophet was nothing but a womanizer. Let me show you what we're talking about here. If you go to Quran chapter 33 and verse 50 to 52. First, we're going to read verse 50. We're going to get to the rest of it later. I'm not going to even bother to read the first part because here Allah gave Muhammad permission to literally sleep with every female in his family, his cousins from the father's side and the mother's side, and every woman immigrate from Mecca to Medina and all these wonderful things. Now, listen carefully. And a believing woman, if she gives herself to the Prophet, if the Prophet desired to have sex with her, this is a privilege for you, but not for any other believers. What we're talking about here? You see, in the other English translation made by the good Muslim who fixed the book of Allah in English for you, they change the word to have sex with, they make it marriage. If the Prophet desired to marry, no. This is the word of Allah given to Muhammad to give him permission to have sex with any woman, marry or not. Her husband went to business, or if she walked with her husband and Muhammad looked at her, he said, I like you. That's it. Her husband have to give her up for Muhammad to have good time with her. And that's not marriage. And I'm going to prove it to you in a minute here. That have nothing to do with marriage. This is a privilege for you, but not for any other believers. If it's marriage, any Muslim man believer has the right to marry any Muslim female believer. No, that's a privilege for Muhammad alone. I have studied Sharia, Islamic law, in marriage and divorce in Alexandria, Egypt. And I know what it is to be married. And I understand the rules of marriage. Here, a Muslim believer gives up herself to Muhammad. Muhammad has the right to have sex with her, not marriage. Why? Because as we see, he said this is a privilege for Muhammad alone. That's not marriage. And listen to the rest of it. Indeed, we know what we ordain for them in their wives and what their right hand possesses. Allah is telling Muhammad, for the believers, we already ordained for them to have 4 wives, and we already allowed them have all what their right hand possess, concubine, slave. But listen carefully here, he said what? That there may be no shame on your part. Why Muhammad would be ashamed to have another wife? He already has 13. He exceeds the limit of 4. And listen a little bit more here. And Allah was forgiven, merciful. Allah was forgiven, merciful. That means something was wrong. There was sin there. Listen, the verse 52 was even make it more clear. And by the way, all those who translated the Quran and fix chapter 33 and verse 50 by changing the word from having sex to marry, they forgot to fix verse 52. All of them. One by one. Sheikh Rashad, Bektallah, Yusuf Ali, all of them made the same mistake. Listen to me, verse 52. It is not lawful for you, the women. After that, what do we have in the women here? In marriage. Muhammad could not have new wife after that. In verse 50, Allah said, you can have sex with any woman offer herself to you. In verse 52, you cannot have new wives. Here's my ijtihad, my trial to figure out what he's talking here. I guarantee you, Muhammad starts sleeping with all these women, and all these women want to marry him. And he said, oh, no. Allah said, I only can have sex with you, but I cannot marry you. 50, I can have sex with you. 52, I cannot marry you. So, that is the teaching of the Quran. Allah gave Muhammad the right to sleep with any believing woman if she offers herself. And then you read in their own books, and you find this to be true. There is a woman, she came to Muhammad, and his family was sitting in the, like as you see in the video, and the reaction of this lady when she said, isn't it shameful that a woman offer herself like that? That is what is written in their books. Here we go. Imam Ahmad. That's not some Jewish guy. That's not some Christian guy. That is their Imam. Imam Ahmad said what? He said that Affan, another gentleman by the name Affan, said that Sabit said that he was sitting with Anas, another man by the name Anas, and his daughter was there. So Anas said, a woman came to the Prophet, Allah's prayer and Allah's peace be on him. So she said, oh Prophet of Allah, هل لك في حاجة? Do you need anything in me? Do you like to have sex with me? Can I give you good time in your tent? That's the word. Listen what he said. فقالت ابنتي. So his daughter said, ما كان أقل حيائها. This woman have no self-respect. This woman have no dignity. Why is that? فقال, listen what Muhammad said, هي خير منك. She is better than you. Muhammad telling this lady, she said, I mean, in easy English, how shameful this woman is. Offer herself to Muhammad to have sex with her in front of all of us. So Muhammad said, she is better than you. Why is that? رغبت في النبي فعرضت عليه نفسها. She desired the Prophet. That's why she offered herself to him. What a wonderful, godly prophet. Have nothing to do with women, isn't it? Yes, Muhammad is a womanizer. How do we know that? We read the Quran. How do we know that? We read the interpretation of Muslim scholars to the verses of the Quran. He have many women who offered themselves, and he actually hunted women, as you're going to see in the rest of the video.